Greetings everyone, I am RSV. Before Kvaris dropped, I set out to ask the question, is Darkfalz a Darkfalz? Well, we've gotten more information on the Darkfalz of NGS in Kvaris, and Plus has told us a couple of things about the Darkfalz that we did not know. And also, from a little bit of digging into Phantasy Star Online, the game before Pso2, I've learned a little bit more about what a Darkfalz is, and have a few additional thoughts on the matter. The first key bit of information is that we learnt that Darkfalz, at least the version of it that attacked Kvaris, was a nascent Darkfalz, so it was not at its full power. And personally, I can imagine that the Darkfalz that attacked Central and Aleo Town also was in a nascent state. It wasn't a full planet destroyer quite yet. However, the Darkfalz has a pretty significant strength feat now attributed to it even as a nascent Darkfalz, as Darkfalz in its nascent form caused Kvaris to be an ice region. I've said previously that it didn't make sense that Kvaris is an ice region, and now we know why it's an ice region, because Darkfalz made it that way. And this means that the geography of Halfa makes a little bit more sense. But not only did Darkfalz freeze all of Kvaris, it also created a giant mountain on top of the former central city. Now, potentially some of that mountain probably was already there. How much of that is ice and snow? We do not really know. However, it has been this way for quite some time. But I think that Darkfalz being a nascent Darkfalz and having shown more destructive capability that is most likely more in line of what you'd expect from a Darkfalz in the first place, I think that it's more safe to assume that it is a Darkfalz now, especially with what changes have occurred in Kvaris. But does Darkfalz have a host yet? Is it controlling an entity, and is it working through that entity, like other Darkfalz have in the past? Well, a lot of things are possible here. We do know that when Matoi became corrupted with F-Factor during Pso2, she didn't immediately become a Darkfalz. And we do know that she became Anjafanaj, a pseudo-Darkfalz or a nascent Darkfalz. So my assumption is that this Darkfalz is still a nascent Darkfalz for this reason. However, I want to really stress that this points to it being a very strong full spawn rather than a Darkfalz at the moment, or a Darkfalz candidate have you. And one of the requirements for it becoming a full-fledged Darkfalz appears for it to have a host. So it needs to fulfill that step. So I'm sorry, Garoa, you may still become a Darkfalz host and not rest in peace. What I believe Kvaris has done is confirmed that Darkfalz isn't quite a Darkfalz quite yet, but it is something closer to what Matoi turned into. But there are still many unanswered questions about this particular Darkfalz. Why is it here? Where did it come from? Who was the person that initially became that Darkfalz? While we don't have all the answers for these questions for the Darkfalz in base game, I feel like these are questions that we should be expecting the answers for in this case, as Kvaris has shown us more about what has happened to Halfa in the past 1 to 1,000 years. Otherwise, I've been RSV. What do you think about Darkfalz? And I'll see you next time.